What's up, guys? This is Xaptropolis, and it's time, that time of the week, for a brand new episode of Zap's Minecraft World. Oh yeah. So today we're back here at the mob arena, and we're gonna be working here a bit more. You guys seem to be enjoying it, so we gotta continue on from last time. We're gonna get straight into it. I'll go over some few minor changes I've done. Don't think I showed this off last time, but I've got some glass here with some slabs. The fences were preventing those baby zombies from, you know, they were getting stuck in the fence, and the iron golem could not reach those baby zombies. So to fix that, we've got some glass and panes and glass and slabs and whatever you want to call them. So hopefully this should work out a lot more nicely, but I haven't really tested it out, so we'll find out sooner or later. We have this gate over here, which I think I showed you last time, and that's just cool, so we can switch between the two pathways. Very nice. And over here we're going to start working on the power-up system. So there are two things I want to do today. I want to start working on the logic behind the power-up system and the logic behind this part here, the motivator. So this is going to be some very, very fun stuff we're going to get into today. And I think let's try out by starting off with this next project. I'm sure you guys would enjoy seeing what other cool things we have in store after all of that craziness. So after this area here, we're gonna continue this little pathway here. You know, it feels very strange. Today feels very strange. I'm getting right into the swing of things. I like to blabber on a bit more before we begin a project or anything, but that's not today. That's not today, folks. Alright, well, we're gonna have a motivator here, and to save on water, no, to save on signs, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have like 3 or 4 source blocks before putting in an extra sign to allow the mobs to breathe. I'll probably need to set up an infinite water source first of all. Let's chuck it in right here. I've also replaced most of these with droppers, but actually I think dispensers would also be pretty nice, as I might have random things. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with this, because I think we're going to rip apart this AND gate idea. I've got another idea for the system here, which we'll get into later on. But first of all, let's try and make a motivator to around about maybe that height right there where I'm pointing, and we'll be back in a bit, guys. Right, so first of all, we probably should cover in this wall, but before we do that, I want to get a little, you know, pillar down here of water. And it's so weird you can see water like that. It's very hard to tell where I'm at. But anyways, moving on. Along this side, we don't want as much glass, because we want this to be where the dispensers and droppers will be. So along here, we'll have our normal wall. Very good, very good. And the arena will be, I'm planning to have the arena about like floor level with a C. About sea level. And we need the dispensers I should say. Now these are going to go over here. Wow, this water's very slow today. And basically they're going to face inwards, and we're going to have a bucket of water in there, and we're going to toggle between them. So we're going to grab ourselves signs too. Right. Let's see. Oh my gosh, this is so slow and very slow. I will have to skip a lot of this out, but basically the water will spit out onto here, and the water will stay there, and that will be where the water will stay, because, you know, you can't have mobs going crazy and the water going crazy and flowing downwards. So we've got it like this, and we can continue this pattern downwards. Not that pattern right there with the random glass block in the middle of nowhere, but I will continue this pattern down a little bit further, and we'll meet you guys back in a bit. Okay, so I've got it to the point I really want it to be, which is about there. That's enough for the moment. So that's about 23 blocks. That's the height of the height that mobs will, about the, height that mobs will drop down and die from fall damage. About 24 blocks is how far they will go before they die. But anyways, I did something wrong here. I want to be able to power these blocks, so what I'm going to have to do is remove all these glass blocks, replace it with some stone bricks, then I'm going to have to place the sign again. Wonderful. So, I'll have to do that, and we'll be back in another little while. So, basically my idea is to, I guess I can just give you guys a demonstration fairly quickly. And we're going to have our water buckets in here. So just pretend that's our water bucket right there. Right, so I'm not the best explainer of things, but basically we need that to retract. So let's do that quickly. Right, so if we have two, imagine these were all filled with water. So it would start from the top, and that means, no, it should start from the bottom, shouldn't it? Yeah, it would start from the bottom and would go up. So, alright, if we have to make it start from the bottom, then we have to go down one more layer, and we throw in our redstone. So what happens is this gets activated, this turns off, and then next thing it does is activates this, which in turn retracts this water while enabling this water to get fired out, and that means we can slowly alternate between these two, and then the next one would be able to activate, if we just quickly throw in a water bucket there by doing this. Okay, oh, I stuffed this up. Alright, there we are. That should have activated, and no, I stuffed this up. Whoops. Right, let me fix this up real quickly. Right, like so, and okay, there we are. Then it goes to the next level, and so on and so forth, all the way to the very top, where we'll have a reset system. So it does this, and this allows us to control the health, the amount of health the mob has. So for example, a creeper could fall down, and the water would reset its fall damage, so it would only have like about, maybe half its health. And if we have it all the way at the bottom here, that means it's basically a... no, we want it to start from there, don't we? Yes, alright, so we're going to have the redstone travel downwards, so the water will be there, then there, then there, and so on downwards. Basically, that means that the mob will take loads of fall damage at the start, meaning it will be like one-hit kills, and then slowly as the game progresses, it will slowly get harder as the dispensers fire the water, and eventually it will be full health mobs. That's how we're going to control the difficulty, not by the amount of mobs the spawner can produce, which is very hard to tell how much it can produce, especially without, like, custom spawners and all of that can spawn heaps of mobs. So yeah, we're using this, which is much easier to handle, and the difficulty can be handled in that way. This looks like it's running okay. Just had to double check. Right, so what I need to do here is we need to set up the redstone for this. Okay, this might sound a little challenging, but it actually is more simpler than you might think. So what it is just a bunch of repeaters. Right, so to power all of this, what we're going to do is we're not going to have a repeater here. That's stupid. Do I have a repeater? Okay, good. And what we're going to do here is... oh, this is going to get... Alright, so the redstone is actually fairly compact for what it does. And it's very cool. So what we have is a repeater that's going to run into the two directions, powering this dispenser and then going downwards. And now we're going to move on downwards here, and this is where we're going to move on to the next dispenser, and it's going to power the next one by going to there. And then we kind of repeat this pattern. So we bring the signal further downwards, which is going to be such a pain because we've got crazy scaffolding everywhere. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, so down here is this, which we can remove. Right, I found it. So, oh man, that was wrong. what we want to do is bring this redstone dust down, and then we're going to bring another repeater signal out from there, so we can continue this power into this block. No, not that block. This block here. Right. Now this is where we're going to get a repeating pattern. So if we just walk out a little, we can observe the magnificent redstone. So signal comes along here, activates that dispenser, then it comes down here, like so, through that redstone right there. There we are. And it goes through the repeater, and then fires this one right here, which will activate both of them, turning off the water here and then enabling this water to fire. And then the signal will, from there, come along down and do the exact same thing. And as you can see right here, this section is exactly the same as this section here, which means we can copy this here and we can make it, you know, kind of, what's the word for it? Tileable? Stackable, I guess? Stackable, I guess? Yeah, stackable. Stackable sounds right. So I can just basically get this circuit and mirror it downwards as I go. So hopefully I can get that done, and you'll see how it works in just a bit. Right, so now that's done, it's decided to rain on us. Wonderful, wonderful. But this is actually not fully complete just yet, because if we power this, as you can see, everything gets powered. Every single dispenser gets powered, which isn't exactly what we really want. So what's going to happen instead is we're going to set this up like a shift register, I think. That's what they're called. I'm not too sure what they're called exactly, but they're these cool little things where we use repeater locking, and then we can toggle between which output is on. So what we basically do is we have all of these repeater locked to on off, and that means that no power can get through. Now basically what we do is we have everything locked, and we have send in one single signal into the block, and it will send one little pulse through, but it will be slowed down and be saved at each dispenser stop with the repeater locks. So that's how they're gonna work. Alright, now these are gonna be very, very insane. Alright, but hopefully we can get this all working. What I have to do now is go through each of them and get a separate repeater for each other repeater, and set up a little repeater lock for all of them, and then connect them all up. So, oh boy, I'm in for some fun today, so I'll be back in a bit. Ah, beautiful, beautiful sounds of the death of mobs. Alright, so let's go check that out before we have a look at the progress on the difficulty setting thing. Let me just turn down my hostile creatures sound like to 4% because they're so noisy. Look at these mobs, man. The iron golem seems to be doing its thing. The witches seem to be dying. I've got some sugar here, and look at how many items we have. It's quite amazing. So that's pretty cool. Along with that, we've got quite a bit of string. So this is actually not all that bad. Not all that bad at all. It's actually more efficient than I actually thought it would be. But anyways, let's bump that up a little more and just get away from these terrible sounds, these loud sounds, so we can look at this progress over here. Right, so torch down there, and look over here. I have been busy, so I've got everything repeater locked. So you can see right there all the repeaters that fire the dispensers. Right there have a repeater that is being locked. So we have this, and when I get to the demonstration of everything, we'll see it works out quite nicely. But we can't exactly start it yet, because there's still another step we have to do. We'll get to that soon. And all I've got, really what this is basically there's a redstone torch right there, and this will be our input. And every time we push a button, it will basically trigger the next dispenser, then the next one, then next one, and so on and so forth. And then at the bottom, we want it to reset and go back to the top. Well, first of all, we want it to turn off so that there's nothing. And then we want it to reset to the top, I think. I think that's what we want, right? Not too sure. So, basically there's a redstone torch right there, and that powers this line here, and we've got slabs going upwards, and there's repeaters going into repeaters. That's basically what it is upwards. Now, since this is so high, I had to do a bit of funny business down here so that we could get everything powered. So, as you can see right here, we've just got some redstone just extending downwards so we can power all these repeaters. Very nice, very nice. Let's get rid of that dirt block, and this one too, and that. A lot of dirt. Why is there a hole there? I want to get rid of that so we have somewhere to stand on. Now, what I want to do is for the reset system. So what's going to happen is, after it fires this dispenser, we want it to then turn itself off, which is why we've got another one just underneath that fires underneath it. There we are. And after that, we want it to go back to the top and fire off that dispenser again. So that's going to be with the reset. So even if someone like stops halfway, what we'll do is we'll set up a system so it will go through everything and go back to the top to reset after, you know, someone dies in the arena. So we'll have to set up a reset kind of system. Now, the first thing we're going to do is get the... Oh, this is wrong. This is terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. Yes, haha. That is a big mistake. We don't want to mess up this. Right, so what we're going to do is, I've got slabs here, and I just want to cover in these little holes. You never know, maybe in the future, Mojang will implement a mob that is only 1 by 1, and it will spawn naturally in the overworld. So, who knows, who knows. So, we're just going to continue this little, you know, redstone torch pillar upwards. And once we get to the top, we will be able to connect it up. Right, so just a few more redstone torches and we should be good to go. So at the top here, we want it to invert into this. Right, so only when it's on, we want this to be on. That's good, that's good. Okay, so now what we want to do is just set up the first signal. And now we need to go down. Yahoo! Amazing drop. And let's just extend this out a little. So this is going to be our input, and this is going to toggle between the dispensers and such. So now it's time for the actual demonstration. Oh yeah. But as always, we've got to do one final thing before we get started, and that's just to build a simple monostable circuit, which we can do in a split second. Boom. Oh yeah, I told you guys I could do it in a split second. Well, I guess thanks to the help of editing. Well, I've got this complete. What I've done is I've got a monostable circuit here. We've got to set this to 4 ticks right there. And what I've also done is changed all these locked repeaters to 2 ticks, so that this will work out perfectly. So let's give this a try. Push the button. Right, we hear the first dispenser fire. This would work a lot better if I filled these up with buckets of water. Right, so now we just go to remove that redstone torch, because this is actually locked in its state. So now we just have one pulse going through, so the next time what will happen is the next repeater will activate, but this will turn off because there's no extra power being activated towards it. Oh man, we only got 2 snowballs, what a waste. Now, going away. Alright, what I've also got to do is replace this with a water bucket and replace that. Right, so now that should be complete. I've decided maybe I should just put a ladder here. Wow, those noisy dispensers and water buckets being fired. Whew, noisy stuff. Anyways, wow, come on, place down those ladders. This is just for me to get up, because I seem to be pillaring up a lot today. Anyways, let's try and maneuver our bodies around this place. There we are. So now we push the button, and oh, brilliant! Look at this. Look at this beautiful stuff go. So now we can see it activating. It's basically a shift register. So this quickly turns from on to off, then back on, and that locks the repeater in its state. So hopefully when it gets low enough, we can see this in action. Let's see here. So it locks it in its state. So that little pulse there's locked, and then that pulse goes along here to this repeater. So as soon as this turns off from our little monostable circuit, this repeater will just turn on, and then it will get locked in its state before it moves on. So then it gets locked as on. So we push the button here. Which one was it? Was it this one? Wait. Did I stuff something up here? I think I did. Wait, oh man. No, I think I see the problem. I think I see the problem. Wait, no, a minute. Wait, what? What's going on here? Okay, what is going on here? Something is not right. Maybe I forgot the timing of something. Oh, is that's, oh, I think that was a little too much delay on that one. Right, yeah, gotta fix this now. Right, I believe this is now fixed. Alright, so we have it at the bottom here. And yeah, that's not covered. That's gonna make a mess. But anyways, moving on. There we are. That's the next one. Oh, and then there's another one after that. Right, which is that one. Then we move on. That gets taken away. And there's nothing, I think. Or was no. Yep, and we push it again. And then it goes back to the top. Wonderful, wonderful. So, yeah, basically continues along there. Right, so hopefully we can see this in action. Just wanted to quickly explain how it works. So, as we can see right here, the repeater is locked in the on position, even though it's receiving no power, and this is how it all works. It stays in this on position until we push this button. The repeater gets unlocked, and that means the repeater will then release its energy, or however you want to describe it as, and then we'll go to the next one, which is being locked here in the off state. And then it will be able to turn on, then get locked in the on state. So we can see this right here. There we are, turns on and then gets locked. And then as we can see also, we can see it just turns off and then gets locked in the off state. So there we are, that's very, very cool. And basically it goes around in a loop, which is exactly what we want. So that is great. Unfortunately today I've been rambling on a lot, so what's going to have to happen is I'm going to have to cut out a lot of me rambling, and hopefully we can get onto the next part of the project that I wanted to start up, which is over here on the buff system. So we've got this difficulty idea switched up. We'll have to connect this up to what I said before, like game ticks and whatever. Don't know how that's going to work out exactly, but hopefully we'll get around to it. Let's move on to this system now.